You think you're not talented? Be honest. How many times you said, I'm just not that type of person. But what if I told you? That's not your truth. That's your limitation story. And today, I'll show you why everything you believe about talent is wrong. Let's get into it. Concept 1. Character skills. Let's break the first big idea. Character skills, talent. Most people chase IQ, talent, and skills. But real winners focus on discipline, consistency, proactivity, mental toughness, grit under pressure. There was a real study. Entrepreneurs were split into 2 groups. Group 1 learned business skills, finance, marketing. Group 2 learned character skills, discipline, initiative, resilience. Result? Character group performed way better. Why? Because knowledge doesn't help if you quit under pressure. Success is not what you know. It's what you do when things get hard. Now listen to this story. A group of kids in Harlem formed a chess team called the Raging Rooks. Nobody expected much from them. Wrong neighborhood, low resources, zero privilege. But their coach did something different. Instead of saying, be the best, he built scaffolding, meaning step-by-step system to grow. He didn't overwhelm them. He trained them like this. First control the center, then learn patterns, then practice together. And slowly, something insane happened. These kids didn't just improve at chess. They improved at life. Discipline, focus, teamwork. Some of them later went to Yale, Harvard, became engineers, filmmakers, CEOs. Not because they started strong, but because they were built strong. Systems create potential. Here's the truth most people miss. Potential doesn't grow in isolation. It grows in systems. If system is weak, talent gets wasted. If system is strong, average people become extraordinary. That's why coaches matter, teachers matter, environment matters, structure matters. You don't rise alone. You rise because your environment forces you to grow. Concept 2. Discomfort equals growth. Now let's talk about something most people avoid. Discomfort. We hate it. But in this book, discomfort equals progress signal. Take language learners. People like Benny Lewis and Sarah Maria. They were not naturally gifted. In fact, they struggled at first. They were shy. They failed many times. But here's what changed everything. They started embracing mistakes. Benny literally set a goal. 200 mistakes per day. Sounds crazy, right? But that's the point. Because mistakes equals feedback. Feedback equals learning. Learning equals mastery. Most people avoid embarrassment. High performers chase it. Concept 3. Start before you're ready. Another big idea. You don't become ready first. You become ready by starting. Sarah Maria learned languages not by waiting, but by speaking from day one, making mistakes publicly, living inside discomfort. And guess what happened? She became fluent faster than traditional learners. Why? Because practice creates confidence. Not confidence creates practice. Final core message. Let's make this real simple. You're not stuck, average, limited. You're just undertrained in character skills, underexposed to discomfort, undersupported by systems. Hidden potential is not about finding magic inside you. It's about building it daily. Concept 4. Motivation breaks down. Adam Grant says something important. Growth is not a straight line. It's messy, slow, and emotionally draining. You start strong, but then reality hits. Boredom, burnout, self-doubt, frustration. And this is where most people quit. Not because they're weak, but because they don't have systems to continue. You don't need motivation. Most people say, I lost motivation, but hidden potential says, motivation is unreliable. Systems are everything. Think about it. You don't brush your teeth because you're motivated. You do it because it's a system. Same way, success needs systems, not moods. Progress is invisible. Let's go deeper. There's a trap called invisible progress problem. When you start learning something, gym, coding, business, skill building, at first, you see zero results. And your brain says, this is not working. But reality is, growth is happening, just not visible yet. Like planting a seed. Nothing happens above ground. But under the soil, roots are growing. Most people quit at root stage. Going in circles is normal. Adam Grant explains another powerful idea. Progress is not linear. Sometimes you loop instead of moving forward. That means repeating mistakes, revisiting basics, feeling stuck, and people panic. But in reality, that repetition is what builds mastery. Example, a basketball player practicing same shot 1,000 times. Looks repetitive, but that's where greatness is built. Practice plus play balance. Another important concept. Practice alone leads to burnout. Play brings creativity back. High performers don't just grind. They experiment, play with ideas, mix learning with curiosity. Because if everything feels like pressure, you quit. But if learning feels like exploration, you stay. Underdog success. Think about the Raging Rooks again. They didn't win because they were perfect. They won because they practiced together, corrected each other, stayed in the system. Even when they lost, they didn't stop. They adjusted. That's momentum, not perfection. Systems decide who gets a chance. Adam Grant breaks it down brutally simple. Potential is everywhere. Opportunity is not. Because systems decide who gets selected, who gets ignored, who gets trained, who gets labeled not good enough. And most systems, they're imperfect, not always unfair on purpose, but blind to hidden talent. NASA astronaut selection. Let's talk NASA. Imagine applying to become an astronaut. You think they only pick smartest engineers, perfect resumes, elite backgrounds. But here's the twist. NASA learns something important over time. Traditional selection misses hidden performers. Why? Because high-pressure environments don't always reward perfect candidates. They reward adaptability, teamwork under stress, learning speed. So NASA improved their selection systems to look beyond just credentials. Because sometimes the best astronauts are not the most obvious ones. They're the ones who handle chaos better, learn faster under pressure, stay calm in uncertainty. That's hidden potential getting discovered, not obvious talent. Ivy League and hidden bias. Now let's go to Ivy League admissions. On paper, it looks fair. Grades, tests, achievements. But reality? Two students with same scores can be judged very differently depending on background, school type, recommendations, context. Adam Grant's point. Systems often reward polished talent, but miss raw potential. Example, a student from a poor school with average scores might actually have higher growth rate, stronger resilience, better long-term performance. But system labels them average too early. And that's the tragedy. We confuse current performance with future potential. Concept 5 underdogs are underestimated. Across research and stories in the book, the biggest breakthroughs often come from people who were underestimated, people who started behind, people who had fewer resources. Like the Raging Rooks chess players again. They weren't naturally elite. But once system plus coaching plus opportunity aligned, they became unstoppable. Because talent is common, opportunity is rare. Core insights, systems create or destroy potential. Here's the deep truth. You can't just motivate people and expect results. You need better coaching systems, better learning environments, better selection methods, better feedback loops. Because bad systems waste talent. Good systems unlock talent. That's why two people with same ability can end up in completely different lives. Final message of the book. Adam Grant's final message is simple but powerful. Hidden potential is not rare. It's just rarely recognized. And when we fix systems, environments, opportunities, we don't just improve individuals. We upgrade society. So here's the truth to take with you. You're not stuck. You're not finished. You're not limited. You're just underdeveloped, undersupported, underchallenged. But that can change, starting today. Because hidden potential isn't something you find. It's something you build. And the moment you start building it, your whole story changes. See you in the next one.